So the leaks were true. Let's just start immediately off with Alicent trying to kill Aemond, because that's probably the most funny thing.
It was as bad as it could have possibly have been.
We start off with Aemond dreaming of Alicent rocking up, and we're like, oh, Alicent's here, even though they showed a different Alicent rocking up in the trailer. So assuming you didn't watch the trailer, you might actually be tricked.
And you could just tell because she's being so... But then you also think, is she just trying to portray him because she was this, oh, my darling boy, last time they spoke?
She forgives him for everything. He's like, I tried to kill Aegon. He feels bad about it. And she goes, I have an idea. Let's have sex. So then we get the first of two very awkward sex scenes in this episode that feel very out of place.
What are we exploring or trying to achieve?
Ryan Condal's want to fuck his mum. That's the only thing it could be. They've gone through it with Daemon, and I guess they're trying to mirror it, and I think they're going with all Targaryens seem to want to fuck their mums.
In the book, it's clear that Aemond, he's hosting at Harrenhal for a few weeks, and Harrenhal is still an active castle with not just one woman walking around. It's got a staff, it's got a people there, and when Kristen Cole and the rest of them are all there, it's noted that Aemond simply won't hang out with any of these pretty young things, but will only want Alys Rivers. So it's like, oh, Aemond likes an older woman, cool. And so we've extrapolated that to Aemond loves his mother to that point.
They've ruined my thought of a couple of episodes ago where they kiss, and it felt like more of like a power dynamic thing that he's like, oh, now that I'm king, I can do whatever I want.
And he's just awkward about it. He's like, he did a good job of playing it like still a weird kid who knows it's kind of odd he's kissing his mother.
Whereas here, they just go completely into this is exactly what he wants. He wants to have sex with his mum. And then they make it even weirder because it's now another sexual assault in the list of sexual assaults in this show, because it's actually Alys Rivers. It's not his mum, and he didn't know.
Is she willingly doing the vision, or
we don't know that either? Yeah. But she is a witch woman, so we could assume that she tricked him and then got carried away and accidentally...
But still, it's another one on the list, if you will.
But it's just a very weird scene, and it literally gives us nothing except another weird Oedipal thing going on.
It's one thing to be into maybe a mistress-mother kink. It's another thing to actually want to fuck your mother.
Yes.
I mean, it was more interesting in season 2 when he's just being cradled by the head mistress of the house.
Yeah, it just alludes to it a little bit.
That's more interesting, having him be Mummy's little boy rather than him actually kissing his mother.
Especially when you have Aegon being the golden boy, because we don't actually see them having sex in that scene. It's literally just, oh, my darling boy, because Aegon's getting all the attention because Aegon's currently king. You can do some interesting stuff there.
That he's not even paying her for sex, he's paying her for affection.
That's what it seemed like back then.
Oh, we had young Aegon lie on his mother's chest when his eye was nearly taken out. The young boy lied on his mother's chest after his eye was gouged out. That pretty much sets up that he wants to shag her. Yeah. Good job, team.
It reduces any of the interest down to literally just guy wants to bang his mum. And also they've done the exact same thing with Daemon.
But Daemon's one was at least like, he knew it was weird.
And also he never had a mum.
Yeah, his mum died when he was 3, which we get told now. Weird. So he runs out on Alys and then goes out and sees his real mother. And he's kind of like trying to see if it genuinely is her. But I thought, God, that's so weird that he thinks he was just having sex with his mum. To then 5 minutes later, his real mum is actually here. Just a weird little sequence, I thought.
She leads him outside to try to explain her case. And she's like, oh, I escaped because of this guy. This is what happened. But he can't tell she's lying because he's all out of whack. Maybe that's kind of why they put them so close together, so that he was off kilter, so that he wouldn't really catch on to the deception. But it doesn't really matter because he doesn't trust anyone except Alys or Mummy. So he immediately stabs.
He kills him just to be safe.
Yeah, because he can't trust anyone. I did laugh a little because it's juxtaposed with, he says, I can't trust anyone. And then immediately Alys Rivers comes out and says, hey-ho, like, we're friends. So it's a little bit of funny little tack there. But then we move on from that.
To a dinner scene.
To the cringest mother-in-law dinner scene thing ever.
And then they're like a proper little domesticated couple now, it seems.
The behind the scenes calls it a
love triangle.
Right.
So the writer of the episode is definitely viewing this as a love triangle.
It's not the only love triangle we have to contend with in this episode.
You did say George loves them.
Yeah, but now we've got an unk triangle with,
Oh, 3, because we've got Mysaria, Daemon, and Rhaenyra too. It's Love Island now.
Well, the dragon does have 3 heads, so...
But then we do get the poison scene, where she tries to poison him because she remembers the poison that Helaena talked about, which I guess they think is a payoff. When Helaena was talking talking about the poison, it was so obviously a foreshadow because out of nowhere, she does the scene in movies where a student walks into the classroom just as the professor is talking about the exact thing that's going to help later on in the movie. She's just doing that to Jaehaera. But then she does poison him. He falls for it because, again, off-kilter wants to fuck his mum. She doesn't finish the job.
So the original plan was Captain Price was going to kill him.
I assume so, but then she wants to carry on that because she definitely loves Helaena more than Aemond. That's the only thing it can be, right? Because otherwise she would say, hey, I'm going to stick with you now, we need to go save your sister. Instead, her brain is binary, I kill my son, I get my daughter back.
Aemond, she's going to have all the dragons at Tumbleton. You just take Vhagar and we'll go get Helaena, who's got Dreamfire, who's a pretty big fucking cool dragon, like we saw here in this episode.
And also, I'm really good at sneaking in and out of
Oh, mate, I'm an expert. And like, look how quick I got here.
Yeah.
Literally the middle of the country. I mean, it's pretty far. I mean, this country is ludicrously big anyway.
But she got there in the time it took nothing to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing, because nothing else moves on. Everything kind of freezes in time. If you were going like out of world, big brain game plan, she takes his eye, says, hey, I did kill him. Here is his eye as proof. And then she poisons Rhaenyra, or like you do something sneaky, you fake his death. But again, her one plan is I need to kill my son, but she's too cowardly to do it with a knife, so she uses the poison.
And then, I'm like, I wonder what's going to happen. I will not be surprised if she just ends up at the Red Keep.
Oh yeah, she's definitely just going straight back.
And Alicent just managed to just walk her way back during wartime.
I think her story's basically done now.
It's kind of been, in terms of plot points, it's been done since Rhaenyra.
Once Rhaenyra took over.
They really haven't got anything for her.
Aemond can't die here, of course. So Aemond gets to Alys and is like, I've been poisoned, falls over. I did actually laugh the way Alys doesn't react at all.
I did tell
for like
you,
a split second or two, and then he's like, idiot.
So they've properly became a domestic thing to the point where when she goes, more firewood, and he kicks the plate, like he knocks the plate away. So now Aemond is full on board with waiting it out in Harrenhal and having children.
Not even a 9-month thing, because he wants his kings, but he doesn't have Vhagar to protect his seat there, which is another weird thing.
No one's coming, and if people come into Harrenhal, they just get home alone by Alice's powers.
The show is basically writing around Aemond being able to stay at Harrenhal because Lady Frey wanted to go to Harrenhal and take it over. And this episode, Rhaenyra finally says, oh yeah, you can go take Harrenhal.
Because she's tired of it.
So now there's going to be a whole Rivermen, men from the Twins, rocking up to Harrenhal. If she did this to start with, everyone's favorite part of this episode, it's got to be Aegon's resurrection, rising like a phoenix.
The build-up to it, like when they're going and he asks what's going on, they go, oh, the Mutants, they're looking for Tyland. And it's this moment where I really like where Aegon, because he's been told he's shit, he's not worth anything, his dragon, the one thing that actually cared about him's gone. Even his advisors don't even think he's that great. And I did feel for him.
Yeah, he gets the great line, I won't die in the dust in ignominy, with everyone thinking that my brother killed me.
Yeah, have it be that I at least had a last stand. I'm here going, this is really interesting. I like this for this character. But I will have to ignore whatever the fuck they were doing with him in season 1, because they are.
But it's also so strange in general because like the way they've built up to this and it being in this episode, it doesn't really feel like a climax of the episode, even though it is placed at the end, because we've just had like sporadic 3 minutes with him every now and then. So sure, it feels like we've seen him a lot and he's popped up a bunch of times. And like every time we see him, it's like, oh, he does another thing. Next time, oh, he does another thing. But we've never really sat with him. Like this is the most we've actually had to sit with him. And he makes this change off the back of so many little tiny things.
Because nothing's been, like when you try and think of the equivalent, like when Arya is at Harrenhal being Tywin or Roose Bolton's cupbearer, she's trying to figure out how to escape. She's got the Faceless Man, and we're also getting the wider political updates through what she's hearing as the cupbearer. So we're learning things. We've not done anything with Aegon other than just him realising he isn't that much.
Yeah, we cut to him and he's sad for a bit.
A lot of those scenes as well acted as Tom's doing them, and he is. We're hitting the same point. And then now it's like, oh, we best go to then just come back.
I think most of this section is really great. Friendship ended with Larys. Lannister is my best friend now. But I think it's such a great amicable end.
So good.
The way I think they're doing it is Aegon actually like lets him go. It's like a friendship, like you're actually going to die here. I'll let you leave.
And then Tyland proving to be like a top G. I did like that. He goes, I'm not going to have you die for people who've come for me. So I'll stick with you. They're seeing the flames and they're hearing the drums. I kind of wanted there to be at least a minute or two, like a quiet, like
a self-reflection.
Yeah, just like a talk. Like I suppose this is just, where it is. Or I don't know, just having a moment with Tyland.
They did write a good speech for him, and he gets
He
to
performed it
shout
incredibly
out.
well.
That's all
Doesn't
good.
notice the dragon's coming, but that's
He's
okay.
in the moment, I guess.
He's in the moment, but I loved it. I love that both of them have a burnt face.
Yes, Sunfyre looks fucked
Apparently,
up.
Sunfyre like almost giggles with Tom, like the way his sound is. There's like he has a.
Right.
I loved it. I mean, you feel it that this guy who feels so rightfully or wrongfully, you truly believe that Aegon believes he's put out, that he's had it hardest.
Yeah.
And this is his moment of screaming like, fuck you all. And because that scene had a bit of fucking passion, a bit of fucking heart in it, you're there.
Yeah. It works so much better than everything else we've gotten.
Yeah, like we have not had a moment like that with our hero, with Rhaenyra. She hasn't had a hero moment other than her fucking Power Ranger bullshit. Like, she hasn't had that.
Well, yeah, this season she gets led into the Red Keep by Daemon. That's more of a Daemon hero moment, weirdly. The only thing I think would make the Aegon resurrection more interesting is if it was more of like a this is why the dragon rose. Because at the moment it kind of seems not coincidental, but it's in that moment that he appears. But I guess I wanted it to be a surprise. So you can't have like a thing that Aegon does actually summon the dragon.
Doesn't he even say, I want to be buried with my dragon? So then wouldn't he have been just...
I don't know why he didn't do it at the dragon.
Do it at the dragon.
That's kind of what I mean.
But I guess they just wanted that coming through the trees moment, which was cool.
But you could have just had the dragon like raise up from
like
where it is.
He just goes to the dragon and just goes and then walks
and
forward.
it's like, his aura emanates into the dragon. Maybe that's just I like magical dragon shit. I don't know.
We'll see just how mobile Sunfyre is, but given everyone else can teleport, it doesn't matter.
That is another thing. Book spoilers, maybe show spoilers. Aegon should disappear now for a while. So is he on hold again?
What is there to do?
Yeah.
Like, because as we've said, we don't see him until the very end now.
Yeah. So that's what I'm wondering. They're going to have to make shit up for him to do.
Yeah. Like, and then Sunfyre has a whole thing with Moondancer.
Yeah.
But
we've still got some Vhagar hunting going on. Addam and Baela are just doing the same thing they did last episode, just wandering around on the grass. I guess they have to stretch their legs because, like, searching on dragon.
Stretch their plot, yeah.
That too. Stretch their legs because dragon back riding is hard. So every now and then they hop off, have a wander around, and be like, what detective things can we learn from this giant pile of shit?
And Addam goes to her, hey, fancy telling Rhaenyra it'd be pretty cool if I could be legitimized? And she goes, oh, why do you want to be legitimized? You got a dragon, that's way better. He goes, yeah, but if I would like want to marry a lady or something. And Baela goes, oh, you've been speaking with your brother, with Alan, and then he looks all, no, I wanted to fuck my niece. Damn it. It does just feel a little bit odd that two fellas who haven't been brought up in this are totally down to have sex with their niece and like marry her.
I guess she is a dragon rider and that's pretty cool, but she's literally a widower as of like a week ago, a month ago.
And it's just like, do you believe it? They've had no connection other than just the plot demands it.
At least she talked to Addam, I guess, whereas Alan, she was just lonely at the time. But it's still weird that she shows no regret for Jace. It's so bad. But then basically they see Sheepstealer off in the distance and they go, is that Vhagar? No, it's Sheepstealer. Then they teleport all the way back to King's Landing and say, hey, Rhaenyra.
And Rhaenyra goes with Addam, not Baela.
Yeah, well, the reason Rhaenyra goes with Addam instead of Baela is because Baela would also immediately forgive.
And Daemon's also there.
Yeah.
So Daemon, he's got word that his daughter is being seen, being noted. And so he rocks up straight away at the Eyrie. Without knocking, comes in on Lady Arryn, who is entertaining.
Got a girlfriend.
And basically, it's just the scene of like, fuck you, where's my daughter? There's a pittance of a nettles and sheep. I mean, it's even just a weird thing to say.
She says your daughter has been seen amongst nettles and sheep because Nettles is the character from the book who Rhaena is replacing. It means nothing to 95% of people watching the show.
Yeah, it's just a...
And if anything, it's going to annoy the people that do know.
Yeah.
But, like, I guess it's their history book version of, like, hey, this is why she was called Nettles. It was a nickname. It doesn't really matter, but at least Rhaena's storyline finally gets something to do, even if it just is, like, a spectacle culmination. This is, like, what they decided should be the big thing of this season until the finale. Which is why it's weird that it is episode 7 and we're getting a big thing. We haven't had a big thing this season apart from the opening that was last season's ending.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense, like, placement-wise, but it all leads to him going to find Rhaena, because, again, people just find people so easily, even on Dragonback in the world. But he goes and says to Rhaenyra, hey, what are you doing? Stop this. Oh, we'll go hunt Vhagar together.
Because Rhaenyra's decided that her plot no longer needs to be on pause and she can actively be a member of the overarching plot now.
Well, that's the annoying thing about Daemon, because Daemon's been on hold. You can tell Daemon was on hold.
Because they gave him his little murder subplot that doesn't really mean anything at this point.
Yeah, he literally forgot about it this episode because we finally have something for him to do. So get out of holding pattern. Stop wasting my time.
It's both stretched and also rushed. It's weird, it's the slow rush. It's that Tame Impala album. It's both simultaneously. It's an incredibly frustrating watch because I just felt like when Daemon once again rocks up, finds Rhaenyra, there's nothing about this that means it couldn't have been when we last had it. Like everything he says when he goes like, I could have been a better dad. Did you know I didn't have a dragon initially? Like all this shit. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Mind you, he still hasn't talked to Baela.
Because they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
They don't know. They've decided it'd be pretty cool for practical reasons, whatever, that Raymond and Nettles can be formed into one. Okay, fine.
But now that you've given him this motivation of he realized he should have been a better dad and that Rhaenyra is going through what he went through, it seems like it would have made sense to show him be more of a father. It was their decision to make him a distant father. And then 2 seasons later, they're like, actually, it's more interesting if he is a better dad or if he regrets being a shit dad. So now we're going to suddenly do this. So they can't figure out what to do with this story because he basically does repeat what he said in the last time they were together.
Only now we'll go hunt Vhagar because she's decided that, I want to earn
my honor back.
And we constantly say that there's nothing about this Rhaenyra currently, even now, that would even remotely suggest that she would do anything to harm Rhaenyra.
I mean, even if you are worried about Rhaenyra, go to Baela and say, hey, Baela, if you and me go talk to Rhaenyra and then we talk to the queen, like maybe together we can figure out something as a family.
It's about family, and that's what's so powerful about it.
But they can't figure out what to do with it any more than this, so they interrupt this by having Syrax and Addam rock up. Again, they couldn't bring Baela because Baela would be like, oh, you're my sister, I forgive you. But also Rhaenyra is like, doesn't forgive her immediately, but obviously doesn't want her dead. But I did laugh when she tells Addam to chase down Rhaenyra on foot.
How ridiculous was that? And then he runs off, and then to just have her there again,
like catches her immediately, even though she had such a good head start.
I was like, what is this scene? This feels like it could have been a little bit tighter. I don't know if we've picked up on this set, guys. They don't actually control the dragons, and the dragons are actually quite dangerous. I'm like, yeah, thanks.
Rhaenyra doesn't control her dragon because he was already a wild dragon.
Although he seemed quite sad to see him go see her again.
Yeah, she obviously does care, but then she doesn't care enough. I definitely thought that she would fight for him because she kind of like waits till she's on Syrax getting dragged away, and then she goes, no. And I'm like, okay. But the scene itself is drawing heavily from like Pacific Rim, Godzilla, the big dragon stomping around above them while all these little people run around, even though they still escape unscathed because obviously all these main characters aren't going to get hurt.
Yeah. I just didn't like how the scene played out. It wasn't for me. Yeah, you might go a bit of spectacle, but it wasn't an interesting bit of spectacle for me.
Because you said you were only in it for spectacle now because they ruined the story so much. Yeah, but so they still didn't get you with the spectacle. Yeah, because
this wasn't. It was just like, we can't have them fly around, so we'll just have them like bounce around on the ground for a bit.
I did like that they're on the ground because we've had a bunch of aerial combat, so I thought it was cool because like dragons are both. That's one of the interesting things about them.
What is this doing for the characters?
Oh, plot-wise and character-wise, this is completely boring and stupid. It makes no sense. But I love the way Caraxes fights like a fencer because his neck is so much longer than everyone else's, so he can kind of get around their guard and bite. And that's just like a sword fighting thing for me, which I found very cool. It's a gangbang on this poor little Sheepstealer.
It's a jump. Yeah.
Everyone on the internet feels so bad for Sheepstealer.
I mean, yeah, if you want to look at Sheepstealer as a character, was just literally eating sheep.
Finally found a friend.
A rider who then forced him to go into battle.
Not forced. She was like, hey, come look. And then he got shot and he's like, I hate this. Like, panic, fight everyone. But that's also another weird thing. Rhaenyra's whole thing is you killed my son, where it's obviously... That's not what happened. Like, these other guys killed your son. But with the fight itself, cool moments like Caraxes being led by Daemon because he's the best fighter because that's what they do. Caraxes waits its turn, jumps over, grabs Sheepstealer by the neck.
Doesn't get injured at all.
Yeah. Whereas Syrax, there's going to be allegations of fraud.
No, we always knew Syrax was a little bit lame.
Syrax is a little bit... Syrax gets bodied. I don't know why Syrax is, like, alive at this point because she got chomped down so bad.
I've got an idea why they've done that for a future plot point that's in season 4. Then Sheepstealer like hobbles away, can't fly because its wings injured. And I mean, people have got theories about certain events with Daemon coming forward, and maybe Sheepstealer being spared might be some paid off in season 4.
Rhaenyra gets taken back to King's Landing, and then she gets a shower for the first time in a long time. And then she's sitting in bed, and then Baela is like, oh, I forgive you, by the way.
It's cool.
You're my sister. You obviously didn't mean to kill my husband. And also, I don't feel guilty about my husband, and I don't mourn him, because I have 2 other penises.
And, I'm in a bit of an awkward situation with our uncles, so, you should meet them.
I was going to say, I've got a
Which
spare.
one do you want? Yeah, one of them's Dragon Rider, one of them's going to be the Lord,
We'll do
so which
speed
one do you want?
dating. Yeah. Do you want a dragon or a castle?
Yeah, which one? The castle is burnt. Ulf doesn't need to know that, but,
Yeah, there's no money there, so Ulf is now broke. Anyway, we'll get to him. But that leads us to Rhaenyra's plot, because Rhaenyra is basically just angry all episode. She's definitely spiraling, again, even more.
It's just the same, though. Every council scene, this one, they really bring it home, where her council are actually bringing problems to her. Like, he's like, it's almost like I've been set up. I was like, surely you would know that.
And also, isn't that still a shit plan? Because, if I hate my government, and the government's like, the treasurer did it, and then I'm like, I still hate you. If you let me kill the treasurer, maybe you placate the masses for a while. And I thought that was the plan, but Manderley seems like he's just going to fuck off.
So I would have thought Manderley would be like, well, I've been in this shit position because she wants to try and fuck me over. And if this was proper Game of Thrones storytelling, Manderley would have already been trying to spin it.
You're telling me there should be political intrigue in my political intrigue show?
Yeah, and you would have think he would have been like, no, I'm going to fucking figure some things out here. Because in the book, she just says Celtigar, and Celtigar just taxes everyone.
Well, that's the weird thing, because she is spiraling so
If
much.
she's so spiraling, she should be going, fucking tax everyone.
Yeah.
I need money. Why aren't we doing that?
I'll make them love me later, because they don't love her now.
Yeah, we're at war
and
right
they're
now.
hungry.
They'll be fine.
Yeah.
His first thing he said to her was, oh, it's really good of you with the food thing. They might even forget it was you who did that. So he knows Rhaenyra is a bit of a sneaky sod. But yeah, whatever. It's just bad writing, in my opinion.
Realistically, yeah, especially because it's so different from the source material. So it's like they've made this change on purpose. They're not gaining anything out of it.
They go to the effort to get him in, like a known actor.
Yeah, they're not making it better.
He has a reaction when he and she just goes, whatever she says, how's Daemon or how's Vhagar going?
Yeah, she blows
and
him
he
off
just
completely.
goes, I was like, yeah, that's me right now, mate. That's me this whole episode.
Yeah.
And then she just goes, yeah, just fucking take the castle.
What is that going to do with Aemond? That's going to be, I guess...
A Vhagar return moment.
Yeah, so it's either a Vhagar return or it doesn't happen until far enough through the story that it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, so that character's pointless now. Manderley's pointless now. Mysaria is the world's worst master of whispers and doesn't whisper anything except, I guess, sweet nothings into Rhaenyra's ear. She wakes up in the middle of the night to go sleep with Daemon again because she can't sleep in Daddy's bed. And she's like, I hate this. I'll go sleep with my husband. Oh, wait, I hate my husband right now. I'm going to go talk to the other person that I know is manipulating me.
And she calls her out. She already's calming down. She goes, look, it's his daughter. He was trying to spare us both. It was a difficult situation. I understand why he did it. And then she's like, yeah, but the fact that he did this would mean that he's willing to... It's like...
She literally just falls for it again, although I don't know whether they're trying to do a Rhaenyra is now working her, getting what she wants out of Mysaria, which I guess is oral. She's placating her, and is Rhaenyra allowing her to do this? I know you're going to manipulate me, I'm going to manipulate you better. Or is it just Rhaenyra is a fucking moron?
It's that one.
It could be.
It's that.
Could be. I have no evidence to refute that claim.
It's because they've had her be so... The Rhaenyra we had in episode 3 is still the Rhaenyra we've got right now. They have not progressed her beyond it. They simply can't have characters have arcs and have plot points happen. They simply can't seem to make it work. And so Rhaenyra ends up becoming just a spinning plate. So when you get her in the behind the scenes going all this pain she's been suffered has to have a point, which we were saying 2 years ago, they should have been doing this back in season 2, that she loses her dad, her stillborn, and her first son. Surely should have been trickling down this way. They framed that white stag in season 1 as a true heroic moment, and they haven't perversed it. It's not like she has a white stag emblem, or she's the white dragon, or anything. She, in my opinion, she hasn't framed herself enough like she's not going to the faith and going I am your chosen one.
Obviously everything's falling apart, but the gods still love me, right? She's also still getting more screen time than her change deserves. Whereas Aegon gets no screen time,
but somehow
and has changed more.
They actually gave Aegon an arc.
Yeah, well, that arc would feel so much better if we got to spend time with him. Instead, we've had not even half an hour over the whole season with him, considering he should be the second main character.
It should be, almost about both of them.
Also, the white stag appeared on Aegon's birthday.
So for me, the Mysaria scene as well, it was just eye roll, like, why? They kissed once back in season 2. There's been nothing beyond just that little kiss.
Rhaenyra's been actively avoiding her.
But now they're doing this. And then minutes are being wasted on this. When she has the madam come into she goes, I know, I've already seen the chair. You've changed. Who gives a shit? Like, who actually gives a shit?
It's because we have to actively, like, state out people's motivations now. When Rhaena was talking to Daemon, Rhaena goes, I want to find Vhagar to restore my honor so that Rhaenyra will defend me. And then he goes, I was a bad father, but I feel bad about it now, so I'm going to be a good father. And in this scene, Mysaria goes, oh, the queen's not doing anything, but I can do stuff, if I can help maybe. And then the whore is basically like, hey, if you're going to style yourself, you're lying to yourself.
Your nice clothes.
You're always going to be a whore. They don't actually care about you. And just stating all of their motivations for what they're doing.
And I'm just here going, like, you know, you've taken a character, you know, she's referred to as Lady Misery. She's meant to be legendary because I think in this lore book, Bloodraven, who definitely is an excellent master of whisperers because he has 1,000 ravens that he uses as CCTV, as good as Lady Misery so that was like, oh, she must have been great because we know Bloodraven was really fucking good.
Well, she's not good in this because she can't even root out the people that are causing the City Watch trouble because Alan has to do that in his spare time. But he's doing Daemon's job and the Hand's job now. Successfully, as far as we can tell, he's using the Velaryon men that somehow popped up out of nowhere that weren't with Corlys. It seems like the gold cloak thing is dealt with because, Daemon has to go do other stuff. But then he gets a box full of Corlys finger and ring because Corlys was kept alive and captured by Aemond, even though so many people were confused because it's done in this weird, like, wide angle and, like,
John Roxton is teleported to, like, just outside of King's Landing, I guess. Like, dragons are the only thing I allow as fast travel, obviously.
Yes.
That's the only thing I can hand wave. Oh, yeah, fair enough.
And that's why when you see, like, Addam and Baela suddenly appear back and then back there in the same episode, you're like, okay, they flew.
He has Corlys there because he hopes that the Velaryon men won't continue to be the new Go Cloaks. So that's why he sends the finger.
Pretty much.
Like, hey, this is what it's going to be. And Corlys is just fucking over it. He's like, I just want to go back to my cell because he's getting offended. He's insulting the Dragon Riders.
Talking shit about his wife.
Talking about shit about his wife. And he's just like, I want to go back to my cell. Fuck you. Daeron, who's getting a bit frustrated because he's apparently the king, but yet isn't, says, what does this matter if we're going to have dragons and an army here in like a day or two? Because Gwain's just come through going, it's next episode, sir.
I know that now that we've had the reveal that Ulf has been working for Aemond for a while, I guess.
Or like at least treating with him.
Yeah, which is why Gwain is able to come and go from Tumbleton at will. Because he rides in through the front gate. I'm like, that's Gwain. He's wearing green armor. Burn at least him.
Don't go when it's the golden one. Only go when it's the
like, is this the deal they've made? And they're like, I'm going to let my men come and go. Because, that's the only headcanon you can come up with. But Aemond is being, the master manipulator. He's the only one actually, I guess, making strides, even though he lives in this one room and doesn't really leave. Daeron continues the trend of people not actually wanting the crown.
Which is odd because Daeron the Daring...
Well, he doesn't even think Rhaenyra sucks, because you would think at the very least he would love his family because he's a high tower. This boy wants to save his mother. Rhaenyra has his mother captive. Daeron wants to kill Rhaenyra. But in this, he says, I don't give a fuck. Rhaenyra can have the crown. I just want to leave, man. I don't care either.
I can believe it for this version of Daeron.
But shouldn't he still want his mummy?
But that's the problem, isn't it?
Because Gwain doesn't want his mummy. Gwain just wants Kristen Cole back.
And probably hoping that Aemond, now I have to be Lord of Hightower.
Oh, no.
This Aemond feels like he'd find sex icky.
He doesn't even like fat, and that's where the flavor is, guys.
Yeah. This version of Daeron, I don't know what they want to achieve with him. Because we've only just met him.
I also don't think he's leaving this season. Yeah, he's not really a character in this. He at least gets some lines for once, which is good considering he's going to be Link in the movie. So I kind of want to feel him out and see how he goes.
Yeah, he's a good actor. He's doing well. I mean, the show has stopped phrasing it as black or green, but because black has been so poor, green ended up being the MVPs. I mean, they've been the MVPs this season, but they actually were, I think, the best scenes. I mean, we know what the best scene was this season. I mean, this episode. Gwain's great. I'm more interested in Gwain and Daeron, characters who have only been here relatively for a bit, than the characters we've had from day one. I actively am invested in them.
Although even I don't see Daeron or Gwain changing the plot at all.
No, I don't. So it's characters who are also attached to plot points they're struggling with. Rhaenyra has to, plot-wise, do things, so they're struggling. Alicent has nothing left to do, but we have Olivia Cook, so let's try our best to make her look older by fucking her hair up. I mean, I miss the old hair.
we're setting up for the big finale next week, 1 episode to go. It doesn't end where I thought it would, as in we're not at Tumbleton. I thought we'd kind of be at the gates of Tumbleton, which is why I'm now wondering, is Tumbleton going to span the 2 seasons? We're going to get half the battle next episode, half the battle
It'll be both Tumbletons.
Season 4. Oh, we're still not getting 2 Tumbletons. We got like one thing happened this season.
Everyone's going, why is Ormond not concerned about the fighting? Because he seemingly is trying his best to win over the dragons that are here.
Even though he's only got 1, so he's still going to get bodied in this fight.
Ulf's either going to go, Hugh's wife's here, you know. You think he already would have mentioned it?
Maybe. I mean, they did this meeting off screen. Maybe they'll do the next one off screen. But that's what I mean. They didn't set up Tumbleton the way I thought they would. Like, basically, we're about to set up Tumbleton, if you get what I mean. So, like, the beginning of next episode isn't the fight. The beginning of next episode is, oh, by the way, they have Corlys, so I guess we should go attack them. Oh, this should happen. Okay, by the time we get to the gates, and then we start the fight. Because we have to still get a whole army, like, ready to go. Is it just serendipity that now that they have Corlys, the Winter Wolves are, like, ready to go? And then Caraxes goes to join them?
And what did you think of the Helaena dream stuff?
It's literally just shots of her dreaming. Like, it doesn't...
It sets up something that's season 4 that they have not set up well at all, in my opinion.
Oh, her on the back of Dreamfire. But yeah, she just has her 3 separate visions.
Then Rhaenyra wakes her up.
And is like... Tell me things. That's the thing, it doesn't really do anything.
We have to ignore, once again, that it's brought up again. Viserys into dreams. Everyone in this family is really into dreams. Ignore the girl is clearly having dreams.
Yeah, it also felt like they didn't know how to finish that scene because, again, we cut away. Rhaenyra's like in the middle of interrogating her, and then we're like, bloop, somewhere else.
Good
now.
acting by Fia. It's nice that she got to do something.
It must be insane to be on set for her. Her and Tom Glencarny. Did he work 2 weeks in the last 3 years? His time on set is very, very low.
I guess we'll go into it with our finale talk of what this show properly should have been at this point. But I think my expectations are very, very low. I think right now, I don't know about you guys, you can tell us in the comments, but I'm really just here for just some spectacle stuff now. It's almost
you didn't even like the spectacle they gave you.
No, but it's crap spectacle. I'm here for good spectacle. Brain turn off. Yeah. I'm not thinking about this anymore because with respect to people who are professional and not like me, who's not a professional writer, they simply aren't doing a good job. I think we haven't stressed it enough, but they literally don't know what to do with Alicent. Like you're watching people not know what to do. On a HBO show with all this time and money, they don't know what to do with this character.
Yeah.
Like, if you have to give a scene, just have it be in the Red Keep, fucking with people.
I think the main problem might be because they have one character in every location, whereas, like, at least with Game of Thrones, all of King's Landing is one area. So we've got a bunch of different actors all doing stuff in King's Landing. We got a bunch of different people all doing stuff in the north. We got a bunch of different people. Whereas this really is like almost most of the time, one character is in one location.
Yeah.
And I think that just ruins it.
It's very clear they simply don't know how to tell a long-form story. Apparently, Rafe of Wheel of Time said to Brandon Sanderson that Brandon was like, shouldn't you plan all this out? Like, do the 10 episodes? And Rafe apparently said, that's not how TV works. And Brandon said, no, but that's how long-form storytelling works.
Yeah.
In like a TV show like The Rookie, 24...
yeah, you're doing a movie you've cut up into 8 pieces.
Yeah, and the books here... Like, so you know where this is going. They present this like they write it all, like they write all 8. But then I'm here sometimes going, have they?
It doesn't feel like it flows.
It's just crumbs. Here's a crumb of a plot point. Here's a crumb of a character point.
This episode was very, very jumpy.
So then just have it be 2 really good seasons.
So was this episode worse than last week? You said last week was the worst episode so far.
I think so. Will I go to YouTube and watch that Aegon scene again? Yes. And will I watch anything from the last from episode 6? No.
But also this episode had...
way more dumber things.
Yeah, way more things that annoy you. Whereas last episode was kind of just like nothingness, whereas this one actively made me annoyed.
It's like even the goodness of James Norton and Ormond, it's like it's wearing slightly thin for me now at this point.
And also he wasn't in it as much. He got less to do.
Everyone, even the main character, I feel I'm surface level with. Except for fucking Aegon. Like, I have more interest in Aegon as a character, and I don't know what it is, why these people seem to be easier. I think it's just because they allow themselves to have these people be complicated Game of Thrones characters.
Yeah. Well, this isn't a book spoiler, but the whole Alicent plot is made up. So just imagine that at least 5 minutes. You could have had more Tom Glencarny. You could have had more Aegon.
Yeah, because you could have making up the Aegon stuff.
Yeah.
You go, well, George just having him spirited away is kind of lame and lazy. We've got to do something with him. And what they've done is decent enough because they've focused on him as a character because he can't have a plot.
My problem isn't what Aegon does or any of the Aegon scenes. It's the fact it's broken up into 3-minute chunks over 10 episodes.
Because Lady Mysaria just has to have her stuff. Like, she just needs it. And, like, Rhaenyra needs to be put on pause because we can't have her in Red Keep just yet.
We got to go get her. Then we got to bring her over.
It's just, you're here going, this episode 7... It's stretched and rushed.
A dragon fight doesn't mean something happened.
Yeah.
Because on a character level, no.
So in this you go, right, if Tumbleton's going to be our focal point because we've skipped over other battles and we're going to make Tumbleton be this amalgamation of lots of things, we haven't built to it enough. Because if you wanted to go, oh, they've stretched it out because they want to really delve into the character stuff, awesome, great. But they haven't done anything with the character stuff. Rhaenyra has been hitting the same fucking beat since episode 3.
Yeah.
They're complaining about candles and then she does the force and prayers.
Good line.
Well, I'm going to burn candles in a candle shortage. Well acted, somewhat well written, same point. It's wallpaper. You're not doing anything with it. She's not descending further.
You're painting a white wall white.
Yeah,
look what I
did. Just keep doing it.
Yeah.
So you've hit the point. So now you want to continue it, but we can't because the plot. It's like, well, then just accept that it can't be 4 seasons then.
They probably also back themselves in a corner by they're not skilled enough to deal with the amount of characters they've given themselves. Because I don't need to see Mysaria by herself, but they seem to think that they need to show me that.
Where's all my series?
But I could go without Baela. Like, you could just have Baela rock up and be like, oh, by the way, I fucked my uncle off screen. I'd be like, okay, weird, but like, fine, because it doesn't actually change anything.
We don't look at Baela like we look at Sansa or Arya.
She was never a main character.
She's not a real character. This should have just been about 2 rival siblings, the show. Then all their auxiliary are just extensions of them, but we are forever from their perspective, I guess.
Yes, I think that would have been stronger.
Yeah, Aemond could have had some good bits, and Daemon could have had some good bits. It should have been these 2 the main ones, then Daemon, Aemond, then we just work it down. Otto and all that. And basically, yes, as nice as those first 5 episodes were with the 2 friends and, oh, you're fucking my dad, it really wasn't worth it.
Last season giving us Tyland going on his little adventure to the Tyroshis. So you could have just said, oh, I sent Tyland away. Now there's an army coming. You could have cut to just him on the boat with her.
Yeah.
And we'd be like, cool.
Or just have one, as they were good in Game of Thrones, you just give them one good fucking scene.
Yeah.
If Tyland goes in and has a good scene with the Mirror, she just Lannisters it.
You're like,
I'm on board.
and it's like, yeah, we don't need to see everything. Stop showing us everything.